Good afternoon. My name is Danny Van Horn. I'm the Scoutmaster of Troop 81, and we welcome you on behalf of the Bailey family, all the adults involved in Troop 81, and all the guys in Troop 81 to the Eagle Scout Court of Honor for Jackson Decker Bailey. It's a special day. We're blessed to celebrate it with he and his family and with all of you. We would like to welcome to the stage now Craig Christenberry, who is one of the deacons here at IPC and a friend of the Bailey family.
A scout is reverent. Please bow your heads and remove all non-religious headgear. Let's pray. Gracious God Almighty, we thank you for the opportunity to come together as family, friends, leaders, and fellow scouts on this special day in the life of Jackson Bailey. Today is a celebration of a journey along the Eagle Scout Trail. A journey full of challenges, friendships, growth, accomplishments, and yes, occasionally some fun and laughter. We are mindful of the strength, fortitude, and effort required by a young person like Jackson to complete the journey and appear before this Eagle Scout Court of Honor. We give thanks to you, God, for Independent Presbyterian Church, whose members sponsor this Boy Scout troop. We give thanks to you, Lord, for the adult leaders of Troop 81 who have guided Jackson along the path to Eagle. We give thanks to you, God, for Jackson's fellow scouts who have supported and influenced him along this journey. We give thanks to you, Lord, for Jackson's parents who have encouraged and nurtured him in his faith, in his education, and in his scouting goals. But we give our greatest thanks to you, O Lord, for Jackson's faith in you and for Jackson's salvation and his belief in Jesus Christ. We ask that you bless this ceremony and all in attendance. Amen.
For the presentation of the colors, I call on Gavin Locke, our Assistant Senior Patrol Leader. Gavin?
Color guard, attention. Audience, please rise. Scouts, attention. Color guard, attention. Color guard, advance. Color guard, halt. Color guard, cross the colors. Scout salute. Those not in uniform, please place your right hand over your heart. Please recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Scout sign. Please join us in reciting the Scout Oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Please join us in reciting the Scout law. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. 2. Color guard. Post the flag of the United States of America. Color guard, post the flag of Troop 81. Color guard, on your colors. Color guard dismissed. Please return to your ranks.
Every Eagle Scout candidate is assigned an honor guard to assist him along his journey. The honor guard for Jackson consists of Tyler Dang, one of Jackson's former senior patrol leaders, who is also an Eagle Scout, and Christian McAllister, also an Eagle Scout. Would the honor guard please escort the candidate for Eagle Scout, Jackson Bailey, forward? Would you please state your name? Jackson, are you a candidate for the rank of Eagle Scout?
Yes, sir.
Jackson, have you completed all the requirements for the rank of Eagle Scout?
Yes, sir.
Jackson, would you please be seated with your parents? Honor Guard, please return to your ranks. I hereby officially open this Eagle Scout Court of Honor for Jackson Decker Bailey, a member in good standing of Boy Scout Troop 81. As we begin this Court of Honor, let us reflect on some of the fundamental principles of scouting, the Scout Oath, and Scout Law. The Scout Oath contains three basic virtues or components that Jackson has fulfilled regularly on his trail to Eagle. As I read those components or portions of the oath aloud, would you please light the corresponding candle? The first duty is duty to God. The second duty is duty to others. The third duty is duty to self. In addition to the Scout Oath, Scouts are guided by the Scout Law, and we're told to live by those principles. Jackson has again lived those principles along his trail to Eagle. So as I read the points of the Scout Law, would you please light the corresponding candle? A Scout is trustworthy. A Scout tells the truth. He keeps his promises. Honesty is a part of his code of conduct. A Scout is loyal. A Scout is true to his family, friends, Scout leaders, school, nation, and world community. A Scout is helpful. A Scout is concerned about other people. He willingly volunteers to help others without expecting payment or reward. A Scout is friendly. A Scout is a friend to all. He is a brother to all other Scouts. A Scout's smile warms the hearts of others. A Scout is courteous. A Scout is polite to everyone, regardless of age or position. A Scout is kind. A Scout understands there is strength in being gentle. He treats others as he would want to be treated. A Scout is obedient. A Scout follows the rules of his family, school, church, and troop. He obeys the laws of his community and country. If he thinks these rules and laws are unfair, he works to change them rather than just violate them. A Scout is cheerful. A Scout looks for the bright side of life. He cheerfully does tasks that come his way. He tries to make others happy. A Scout is thrifty. A Scout works to pay his own way and to help others. He saves for the future. He protects and conserves natural resources. He carefully uses time and property. A Scout is brave. A Scout can face danger even when he is afraid. He has the courage to stand for what he thinks is right, even if others laugh at him or threaten him. A Scout is clean. A Scout keeps his body and mind fit and clean. He goes around with those who believe in living by those same ideals and standards. He helps keep his home and his community clean. A Scout is reverent. A Scout is reverent towards God. He is faithful in his religious duties. He respects the beliefs of others. It is not a coincidence that the oath begins with duty to God and the law ends with an obligation to be reverent, because in all things we do, God is the beginning and the end and fills in everything in between. It's now my pleasure to introduce Mac Bailey, who's not only Jackson's father, but he's also one of our former Scoutmasters of Troop 81, to escort you down the path taken by Jackson along the trail to Eagle.
Good afternoon. Thank y'all so much for coming today. I'm going to walk you down the path that Jackson took to reach his scout journey, into that journey as an Eagle Scout. And you can see the display up here that my son and I built over the last several weeks. It's called the Eagle Trail. Each one of the badges or ranks are displayed on that particular trail. And I'm going to walk you through it to show you the pathway that he had to take to become an Eagle Scout. Achieving Eagle is a long and arduous task. The pathway to Eagle is a steep trail with multiple peaks to summit. The Eagle Trail is represented by this display to my right, consisting of each of the badges for each rank in Scouting. As Mr. Van Horn said, I first served as Jackson's assistant scoutmaster when he first became a scout, and then as his scoutmaster. I had the privilege of observing him take every step along the Eagle Trail. The Eagle Trail begins with the rank of scout, learning the basic principles of scouting. The trail continues with scout skills and troop participation to each of the ranks of tenderfoot, second class, and first class. The path is then marked with merit badges, leadership responsibilities, and service projects to attain the ranks of star and then life. Finally, the scout reaches the pinnacle, the rank of Eagle Scout. Let us now reflect on the long trail to Eagle, which a young man like Jackson had to undertake and complete during his scouting journey. To achieve the rank of scout, Jackson had to understand, repeat, and promise to live by the scout oath, the scout law, the scout motto, and the scout slogan. Jackson achieved the rank of scout, which is the first rank to my right, on May 10th, 2017. To achieve the rank of tenderfoot, Jackson did some of the following. He packed and camped overnight in a tent he pitched himself. He practiced the outdoor code. He demonstrated how to tie basic knots. And everybody thinks scouts are all about knots, and they are. He identified poisonous plants, which was helpful to his father as well. He learned the rules of safe hiking. He actually practiced physical fitness, completed 1 hour of service, and then he had to pass a Scoutmaster conference. Jackson achieved the rank of tenderfoot on September 27, 2017. Third on the Eagle Trail is the rank of second class. To achieve the rank of second class, Jackson did some of the following. He participated in 5 troop activities, which could have been camping, trips, as well as selling popcorn or service projects. A lot of different things were options for him. He practiced leave no trace principles. He used scout tools to build a fire and to cook food on. My son likes food. He identified 10 kinds of wild animals in nature. He demonstrated advanced first aid. He participated in a flag ceremony. He had 2 hours of service, and once again he passed a Scoutmaster conference, and this time, as second class, he had to complete a board of review. Jackson achieved the rank of second class on December 11, 2017. Fourth on the Eagle Trail is the rank of first class. To achieve the rank of first class, Jackson did some of the following. He participated in 10 troop activities. And this troop is very active. We have a camping trip every month, and then we go to summer camp, and then we normally have some kind of high adventure trip as well during the summer. So we're very active, and Mr. Van Horn does a great job with this troop keeping them active. So 10 troop activities may sound a lot, but it's not that hard in this troop. He planned a menu with a budget for his patrol. He cooked a meal for his patrol. Hopefully they ate it. He demonstrated how to tie lashings. He identified 10 native plants, learned how to use a GPS, forecasted the weather for one of the camping trips that we went on, demonstrated boating safety, and water rescue. He even developed an emergency action plan for my house, for Teresa and our house. He discussed constitutional rights. How many times do any young man do that? He investigated environmental issues. Then he had to have 3 hours of service, pass a Scoutmaster conference, and pass a board of review. He achieved the rank of first class on May 21, 2018. Fifth on the Eagle Trail is the rank of star. To achieve the rank of star, Jackson did the following. He was active for at least 4 months in Troop 81. He earned 6 merit badges, 4 of which were Eagle required. He served in the leadership position of chaplain's aide. Now, quick aside, the chaplain aide always says the travel prayer before the troop leaves on a camping trip. One of Jackson's first prayers before one of our backpacking trips was, "Dear Lord, please don't let any of us die on this trip." We asked him to change that up for the next camping trip because it kind of scared some of the younger scouts. His prayers got better and better. He participated in 6 hours of service. He passed a Scoutmaster conference and a board review. Jackson achieved the rank of star on October 1st, 2018. 6 on the Eagle Trail. This is where a lot of scouts get, and they stop. I did. 6 on the Eagle Trail, the rank of life. To achieve the rank of life, Jackson did the following. He was active for at least 6 months in the troop. he earned 5 more merit badges, 3 of which were Eagle required. He served in the leadership position of librarian. He participated in 6 hours of service to his community. He passed a Scoutmaster conference and completed a border review. Jackson achieved the rank of Life on April 8, 2019. Last on this course is Eagle Scout, of course. Before I review what Jackson accomplished to become an Eagle, I want to take a pause for a point of personal privilege and challenge each scout, I'm looking at y'all, each scout in Troop 81 to become an Eagle. I challenge you to walk that path, to traverse that trail, and to reach the same summit that Jackson has, and one day fly like an eagle. I challenge you to do so and have the utmost faith that you will do it. And I will always be available if you need me to help you get along that path. To achieve the rank of Eagle Scout, Jackson did the following. He was active for at least 6 months in his troop. He earned 10 more merit badges for a total of 21 merit badges, 13 of which were Eagle required. Now, 21 is the minimum number of merit badges you can obtain to reach Eagle. Jackson earned a total of 43 merit badges. After this year's summer camp, he had 46 merit badges. Once again, only 21 is required for Eagle. After Eagle, for each 5 merit badges earned in excess of 21, a scout receives an Eagle palm. Bronze for the first 5, gold for the second 5, and silver for the third 5. Jackson has now earned all 3 of his palms. He served in the leadership position of instructor for shooting sports, and in the video presentation you'll see why I say that. He planned, developed, and completed an ambitious Eagle Scout project in August of 2020. Jackson's Eagle Scout project involved the construction of a barrier wall at the Shelby Farms trap practice range. The wall was 100 foot long and 8 foot tall. It required 2 full weekends and then some to finish. The range needed 2 new walls, so Jackson supervised the construction of one of the walls, and his fellow Eagle Scout, Christian McAllister, supervised the construction of the second wall. It was an excellent opportunity for 2 future Eagle Scouts to work together to accomplish a goal that provided safety to a large number of people who shot out at the practice range. And I believe that if Mr. McAllister and I would have realized the true cost of this project, we probably would have encouraged him to do something different. Because if you may remember, August 2020 was the height of the cost of construction materials. He then passed a Scoutmaster conference with Mr. Van Horn, and then finally on December 22nd, 2020, Jackson completed an Eagle Scout border review before a 3-person panel of adult leaders in the Chickasaw Council and passed. It's been a long journey, Jackson, but you made it. And as your former Scoutmaster, I'm very proud of you.
At this time, I'd like to recognize everyone here present who's an Eagle Scout. And we don't say you were an Eagle Scout. Once you're an Eagle Scout, you're always an Eagle Scout for the rest of your life. So if you are an Eagle Scout, please stand up and be recognized. Let's hear it for these guys. It's still true that Eagle is a very rare rank. If you start with the kids who start in Cub Scouts and you go all the way through to 18, it's still true that a little less than 4 out of every 100 kids who start in scouting ever make it to Eagle. That's 4%. Now, I don't know any measure you want to look at, that's an A+ on every grading scale ever. And you will never regret that you made it into that 4%. At this time, each of Jackson's parents would like to make a brief tribute to their son. Jackson's mother, Teresa, will speak first.
Good afternoon. On behalf of Jackson and Mac, we would like to thank you all for coming this afternoon to celebrate this accomplishment. As we all know, maybe now more than ever, time is precious. So we thank you for spending your time with us today. As I look out into the audience, I see family that has traveled all the way from the Mississippi Delta, no less. I see neighbors. I see friends. I see educators. I see peers, fellow scouts, and scout leaders. I want to thank each and every one of you, as somewhere along this journey, your prayers, involvement, and support for our son has been such a generous and selfless outpouring of love and concern. Whether it was an annual popcorn purchase, a word of encouragement, or a teaching moment, it is all appreciated. I want to thank this church for its hospitality and for hosting this troop over the years. IPC is making a positive difference in the lives of boys, and I hope they continue to do so. Jackson, it has been an honor and a blessing for me to watch you mature through the ranks of Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts. I have seen a young boy who once told me, quote, he was a city kid and didn't do outdoor things, unquote, develop into a young man who can pack up to go away, set up his own tent, in the dark no less, prepare food for himself and others, clean up, leave no trace, and survive in the wilderness if need be. By attending merit badge colleges, summer camps, and workshops, you've learned about animals, biking, hiking, swimming, welding, woodworking, first aid, and so much more. I've seen you learn how to set goals and work towards achieving them. You have made friendships with other scouts that go to other schools and that come from different backgrounds. You've learned important life skills such as communicating, planning, organizing, follow-up, and getting along with others. You now have an affinity for the outdoors that was not an innate passion. I have seen you become a leader, and this is carried out to other areas in your life. As percussion captain of your high school band, your director relies on you, and she is here today. You are one of the oldest and most mature kids in your band. You can set a good example for the younger students. As a member of your varsity trap team, you know how to celebrate after a great match, as well as how to console others who did not do as well as they had hoped. You have grown in a sport that requires concentration and allows you to compete both as an individual and as a team member. You are reminded at every practice and tournament about the importance of the Second Amendment, safety, and the responsibility that comes with that. I thank God that your coaches make it a priority to pray over you and for your team before every match, just as I do every night when I check to see if you are asleep. I am so happy that you've had the opportunity to experience scouting, and I'm even more excited that you did all of this, all of it, with your father. So to Mac, where are you? I'm trying to keep it together. Thank you. What a blessing to have shared these experiences and make these memories with our son. Now, I'm not going to lie, moving from Cub Scouts to Boy Scouts was quite an adjustment for this mama. Because of your involvement, however, I never worried when y'all left for an outing or adventure. Boy Scouts is for the boys, and that's fine. That's how it's supposed to be. But when 3-day federal holiday weekends, typically reserved for the family, became Boy Scout outings and trips, I had to adjust. Some trips were even planned over Hallmark holidays, like, say, Valentine's Day or an anniversary. While this fraternal organization was perhaps pushing our son and you out of comfort zones, it also pushed me, and I soon learned to embrace the silence, to enjoy how clean the house could stay over a weekend, and to spend quality time with girlfriends I never see enough of. So for all the meetings, the campouts, the trips to the scout shop, Bass Pro, Outdoors Inc., the popcorn sales, the meals, the meetings, the courts of honor, the time, the talents, and treasure, I know we agree it was worth it. And these are memories that will last a lifetime. And Jackson, I hope the journey will continue even though the pinnacle has been reached. You have continued opportunities for involvement in Troop 81, the Thunderbird District, and the Chickasaw Council, as well as through NESA, the National Eagle Scout Association. Opportunities to stay connected and involved. I hope you will stay plugged in, and I'll continue to support you and help you any way I can. I love you, and I'm so very proud of you, son.
Good luck following that. Mac.
Well, if I cry, you know where I get it from. Well, now I get to speak as Jackson's dad. Yeah, I had the distinct honor of not only being one of Jackson's scoutmasters, but also his father. You know, as parents, we want our children to become more successful than we were. Well, Jackson, today, you're officially more successful than your old man. Because although I was a Boy Scout, I made it to Scout, smelled the fumes, and never obtained the rank of Eagle. And I'm very proud of you for being better than me. You know, scouting has had a profound influence and impact on my son. I want to tell you about 3 ways that scouting has impacted Jackson and made him a better citizen in this community. First, scouting taught Jackson skills that he will take with him for life. Second, scouting promoted Jackson's non-scouting interest. And third, scouting fostered Jackson's growth and maturity. First, skills, right, Jackson? Skills. Sure, scouting taught a lot of scout skills, knots, first aid, camping, how to pitch a tent. But in teaching scouting skills, scouts also taught him life skills. Scouts taught Jackson how to be self-sufficient. When you backpack into the wilderness for several days with everything you need on your back to survive, that's self-sufficiency. Scouts taught Jackson teamwork. When you have to work with your patrol to navigate a raft down a whitewater rapids without turning over, that's teamwork. Lastly, Scouts taught Jackson confidence. Very important. When you know that you can succeed at each level by attaining the ranks and merit badges necessary to progress, that's confidence. These are not just scout skills, but these are life skills that Jackson learned. Second, Jackson's non-scouting interest. I have an old scouting friend of mine. I grew up in the Mississippi Delta. His favorite saying was every time any subject came up, because we were scouts together, he would say, "There's a merit badge for that." He was sort of right. There's 135 merit badges. So let me tell you about 3 of Jackson's non-scouting interests and how scouting promoted those non-scouting interests. And these are 3 things that you may not know about my son, but Teresa's already alluded to some of them. First, Jackson is a musician. He plays both the piano and the guitar. He is also the lead percussionist in his high school band at FACS, playing more than a dozen percussionist instruments. Jackson's drumming leads the band, the cheerleaders, and the football team on the field at every home game. Well, there's a merit badge for that. It's called the Music Merit Badge, and Jackson earned it. And he earned it, at all places, at the Mississippi Grammy Museum in Cleveland, Mississippi. In the video presentation later, you'll see him playing in the school band. 2, Jackson is a cartoonist. Jackson draws with one of his friends who's here today, sketches comic characters. He has created characters for Dungeons and Dragons as well as characters for a book that he and I are working on, a comic book series. It's called Barrister Comics. It's the world's first legal comic universe, right, Jackson? We have submitted some of Jackson's character sketches to an artist who freelances for Marvel, and the final rendering was spot on to Jackson's artwork. Well, there's a merit badge for that, and it's the Art Merit Badge, and Jackson earned it. And you'll see some of his artwork in the video presentation. 3, Jackson is a shootist. Jackson shoots clay targets for his high school trap team. Jackson participated this year, like the other members of his team, in the regional and district tournaments in Shelby County and the state tournament in Nashville. And then we drove all the way to Ohio for the national championship. Well, there's a merit badge for that. And it's the shotgun shooting merit badge of all things. And Jackson earned it. And you'll see Jackson shooting in the video presentation. Third way that scouting has impacted my son is growth and maturity. Now, as Scoutmaster, I had the privilege of watching boys grow into young men. Well, I got to watch the same thing, wait a minute, happen to my son. Now, quick aside, Jackson. I'm about to say some things about you that you may not remember or may not agree with. This is my time to talk, your time to listen. Yes, sir? Thank you. When Jackson started Scouts, he was afraid of the dark. Now imagine him being afraid of the dark in a tent, in the wilderness, by himself, in pitch black dark. That dog did not hunt initially. So initially, Jackson would not go camping unless he and I bunked together in the same tent. Well, after a few camping trips, Jackson came to me and said, "Dad, I think I'm way too old to be sleeping in the same tent with you." I said, "Okay." So he started bunking with the other Scouts. Not before he asked me, though, if I use our tent, are you going to get your own tent? I said, yeah. It was nice enough to worry about me. Well, after a few more camping trips, Jackson came to me and said, "Dad, I think I'm too old to be bunking with all these younger Scouts. I need a single-person tent." I said, "Well, that does make sense. You are single. You're not married." I said, "I think what you mean is a one-man tent, and I'll be glad to get you a one-man tent." He goes, "Were you going to get you a one-man tent?" I said, "Yeah." So once again, he was still worried about me where I was going to be sleeping on the camping trips. So we each got a one-man tent. Well, the first camping trip in which we both brought our one-man tents was one of the Mousetail backpacking trips. I pitched my tent near his just in case. About 2 a.m. in the morning, I wake up to the sound of coyotes howling in the distance. Remember that, Mr. K? It was our trip together. So I think to myself, okay, any minute, Jackson will be tugging on my tent, zipping my zipper, and crawling in with me. I wait. Then I hear a human voice trying to mimic the coyotes. It was my son. He was howling back at the coyotes. He had confronted his fear and overcame it. That's growth. Now, flash forward to 2019. We're at the World Scout Jamboree. None other than Scoutmaster Shane Lynch over there. Thank you for coming. It was Jackson's Scoutmaster at the World Scout Jamboree. Jackson was a member of the Chickasaw West Tennessee contingent, and I was fortunate enough to be the first assistant scoutmaster of the troop, Mr. Lynch. We were at the summit in West Virginia, the premier high adventure center for scouting. I was so excited. 2 weeks with my son, having fun, bonding, father-son stuff. The first day was great. We had so much fun. We did shooting sports, archery, BMX biking, almost killed ourselves, skateboarding. It was a blast. Second day of the 2-week time period, more of the same. We went rock climbing, zip lining, had even more fun. I got home that night to my tent and I called my wife and I told her how much fun I was having. I said, "I'm having a great time here at the World Scout Jamboree." And she said, "I thought this trip was about the Scouts having fun." I said, It is. Jackson's having fun." She said, "Okay." Third day in the 2 weeks, we're at breakfast. Jackson comes up to me and he says, "Dad, some of the guys invited me to hang out with them today." I said, "Okay." Then he said, wait for it, he said, "Will you be okay without me?" Will I be okay without him? Did he not know the whole reason I went on this trip was to make sure he would be okay when I wasn't there? So I said, "I will be okay." As first assistant scoutmaster, of course, in front of all the other scouts, I said, "Yes, son, I will be all right." I said, "Absolutely." But inside, as a parent, I didn't know whether to cry or rejoice. What I wanted to say to him was, "You know why I came on this trip, but obviously you don't understand. I was worried that you would not be okay without me." Now, as a parent, we're supposed to teach our children how to be independent and one day depart from us. That's our job as parents. Scouting helped Teresa and I do that for Jackson. Now, for the rest of the trip, I did see him a few times. We were in the same camp after all, and I was still one of his scoutmasters. And I had to make sure they got on the bus so he could get back home from West Virginia, because my wife would have killed me. But mostly, I saw him at breakfast and dinner. The rest of the time, he was with the other scouts. And he did exactly what he should have been doing. He spread his wings and he flew. Jackson, sorry. All right, Jackson, you know that you're my favorite son, right? Of course, he's also my only son, so good thing he's my favorite. You know that I love you very, very much. And you know that I'm so, so proud of you. Congratulations, Eagle Scout.
We're not going to do like the round of applause on which one of them had the better speech because they were both great. Very moving, both of you. We're at the highlight of this court of honor where we will present the Eagle Scout Medal to Jackson Bailey. Jackson, will you please come forward and stand to the left of the Eagle Scout candles? Mac and Teresa, will you please come forward and stand to the right of the Eagle Scout candles? The Eagle Medal contains 4 basic elements: the eagle and the 3 national colors of red, white, and blue. The eagle represents freedom as one of our country's national symbols. The color red represents courage and sacrifice. Jackson, please light the red candle so that you'll always be mindful of your obligation to remember the sacrifices you made for and by your family and by all Americans who came before you. The color white represents honor and purity. Jackson, please light the white candle so that you'll always be mindful of your obligation to be clean in body, mind, and spirit. The color blue represents loyalty. Jackson, please light the blue candle so that you'll always be mindful of your obligation to be loyal to God, your country, your church, and your family. All of these are attributes of the Eagle Scout, and I challenge you to strive to live by each and every one of these in all your future endeavors. Jackson, the symbols of your success are the Eagle Medal and neckerchief. Just as your parents help you with your uniform as a Tiger Cub, your parents will now bestow upon you the neckerchief and medal today. Teresa, will you please remove Jackson's troop neckerchief and slide? Teresa, will you now place upon Jackson the eagle neckerchief and slide? Nicely done. Mac, will you now pin the Eagle Scout medal on your son? In recognition that no one makes it to the rank of Eagle on their own, and that we all have parents who guide us along the way, will you now present your mother with the mother's pin? You can see as Jackson does that, Teresa's got the lanyard that has all of his former ranks on it. So, clue, moms, you definitely want to get one of those and hang on to them. There's a mother's pin for every rank, but there's only one rank that gets the father's pin, and that's Eagle Scout. Jackson, will you present your father with his Eagle father pin? Jackson also has pins for his grandparents, but they couldn't be here with us today, so we'll present those pins at a later date. Now, would the honor guard please come forward and escort Jackson's parents back to their seats? That's what escorting means. Yeah, there you go. It is now my great pleasure to introduce Troop 81's newest Eagle Scout, Jackson Decker Bailey. Jackson?
Thank you all for taking your time to come here today to my Eagle Scout ceremony. While I've been in Scouts, Scouting has taught me many things that you normally would not learn in life. For 8 years, I have been in both Pack 81 and Troop 81. Not only have I helped the Pack and Troop throughout the years, but the Scouts and leaders of the Pack and Troop have helped me. While in Scouts, I've been able to go to many places that people who aren't in Scouts would never be able to go to. For example, the 2019 World Scout Jamboree, where I met Scouts from all over the world. Due to the help from all of you, I have been afforded the honor of attaining the rank of Eagle Scout, So I would just like to say thank you. Next, I will now present the Eagle Scout Mentor Pins. The Eagle Scout Mentor Pin is presented to one or more adults, doesn't matter how many, who played an important role in a Scout's journey along the Eagle Trail. I have selected 5 adults as my mentors. As I recognize my mentors and call your name, please make your way to the podium, please. Mr. Bill Kay. Mr. K was my former Scoutmaster and my first Scoutmaster. He welcomed a lot of people into the troop, including me. He is a good teacher, especially with weapons. After all, he was in the FBI. He is patient and funny. Thank you, Mr. K. Mr. Wallace Bell. Mr. Bell is basically the incarnation of both quartermaster and emergency preparedness combined. He contributes so much to the troop, supplies most of our tools, and is always the handyman of the group. Thank you, Mr. Bell. You may now be seated. I guess I'm going to say that every time. Mr. Mark McAllister. Mr. McAllister gets everyone focused. He has helped me ever since I have been a member of the troop. He helped the son Christian and me with our Eagle Scout project. He is reliable and dependable. Thank you. Thank you. You may now be seated. Mr. Danny Van Horn. Now, what can we say about Mr. Van Horn here? Well, he always takes charge when needed. He keeps us focused and does not let us dilly-dally around. He has organized many scout trips that provide us with a variety of experiences. Without him, we would do the same things over and over and over again. Thank you, Mr. Danny Van Horn. Thank you. Congratulations. You may now be standing back where you were before. And now, to the man who started me on this journey. My former scoutmaster and forever dad, Mr. Mac Bailey. This man was with me when I started as a Tiger Cub, and was beside me all the way to becoming an Eagle Scout. This man has walked, hiked, biked with me down the same path he once did, but unfortunately did not attain Eagle himself. My dad made it to Life Scout and has many fond memories of his scouting days with my grandpa Bailey. He and my grandfather Olin Bailey Sr. enjoyed Scouts together, and over the years have shared many inspiring and scary, hilarious stories with me. Most importantly, my grandfather passed on the love for scouting and father-son time to my father, and now my father has done that for me, and is perhaps the greatest accomplishment here. Thank you, Dad, for everything. You may now be seated.
I'm not sure if Jackson's not the hardest act to follow in the family. Jackson's parents now have a few special presentations to bestow upon Jackson in recognition of his accomplishments in scouting.
First of all, we're going to give you a new belt. Wore that belt ever since 2019 for the World Scout Jamboree. This belt has eagles on it, it's leather, has your initials on it, and has Eagle Scout belt up there. All right? There you go.
And then this is Alaskan caribou that was carved by an artist in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And I bought this on one of my shopping outings when we were over in Gatlin Garden, Pigeon Forge. And I just thought it was beautiful. And it, of course, is an eagle. And I hope this will always remind you of that accomplishment.
Now, last ball, I want something for your wall. So this is an eagle. Something that I kind of made. And then had your name put at the top with the date that you passed your board review. And this, you can hang this up next to your error block.
That plaque is wicked cool. Mac, I think I want one of those. On behalf of Troop 81 and the entire Bailey family, we'd like to thank all of you for coming today to share in this special occasion to honor Jackson and his accomplishments. After the conclusion of this ceremony, the Bailey family invites you to a reception in this room, as well as to enjoy a special video that they've put together to show you Jackson's trail to Eagle. We'll now conclude the Eagle Scout Court of Honor in the same manner as we conclude all courts of honor and scout meetings. Would the scouts please stand, come forward, and form a line in front of the stage here, facing the audience. Cross your arms, bow your heads, and say the Scoutmaster's Prayer. Hit it, Jackson. Be prepared. We adjourn.